The AR-15 as a whole is over 60 years old. The question I hope to answer today is, have they peaked? Do we go up from here, or is it only downhill? In order to try and answer that question, we took out one of the latest rifles from one of the biggest brands. This is the Smith & Wesson M&P 15 Volunteer XV Pro. It comes stacked with solid features. Out back, you have the B5 Systems stock and grip. The trigger hanging out of the forged receiver set is flat. The handguard is a 15-inch M-LOK unit, while the barrel inside that is a 16-inch barrel with a mid-length gas system. On top of the gun, we find Williams folding sights, a Radian Raptor charging handle, and for this review, a plethora of optics. Oh, and the crowning glory is the PWS muzzle brake, which may make you question your existence. I'll get to that in a second. Hey, Range John. Oh, hey, Studio John. Have you ever heard of the MagShack? I think I heard about them in a TGC video one time. You should probably know about the MagShack. Oh, yeah. Why? Well, the MagShack does what the MagShack does, and you might need to know about the MagShack. Oh, you're being weird because of YouTube nonsense, aren't you? Yep. All right, I will look into the MagShack for sure. You see, when it comes to AR-15s, you can get them in any flavor you want. Everything from go-to-war type guns all the way to go-away type guns, like my Project Atrocious build. The features you can get are almost endless, and the features on this Smith & Wesson should equal excitement, right? When I started making gun videos over 10 years ago, this setup would have been high-end, but this just isn't. It's kind of just fine. The recoil impulse is exactly the same as any other mid-length AR-15 chambered in 5.56. The trigger, while the pull weight is roughly 5 pounds, feels a lot heavier than it actually is. The other controls are just fine. Sure, the ergonomics with the B5 stock and grip are comfortable, and the gun wasn't hard to control by any means, but the accuracy we were able to pull out of the gun was unimpressive. If we exclude a few flyers, it's maybe a 1.5 to 2 MOA gun when we put an entire mag into the target. Okay, just so you guys are aware, we're trying to do some accuracy testing, and I threw the Ranger 7 on there from AAC, that's a new one, and I've got a Leupold 5 to 25, it's a Mark V HD, and we forgot a shooting mat, so Vertex bag has taken that role. How do you feel, Josh? Cold?
It's cold.
It's cold.
But the Vertex bag is hoping to help a little bit, maybe. We'll see.
It's too cold for your brain to work, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so we're looking at our targets now. Again, this is a practical accuracy test with 55 grain ammo. We've got a can on there, and we're just trying to see the general groupings that we're getting with extended shot strings. I think that's about 10 rounds. That's about 10 rounds. This is Josh down here, and this is me up here. Josh, how do you think you shot between these two? This was your first group. That was your second. How do you think you shot?
So, a little spread out, but, I mean, it's not my worst, but also not my best, but within 4 inches for my long shot string with the 20 rounds.
So from your bottom to your lyre out there is about 4 inches?
This, like this, I felt that as soon as I started to send around that it was off, but I was already on it. So.
I got to be honest, I'm not super impressed. Now that, you know, battle accuracy and all that kind of stuff, this is okay, but even up here, you know, I saw some decent areas here. Like, this is okay. That's acceptable, but when you start to include these outliers, I think this was my first round, that was my second, and then it started to lay rounds in here.
Yeah.
And I think this was one of my early rounds, and then it started to tighten up a little bit, or I started to tighten up, I'm not sure which, but it's usable.
Yeah.
But I would not call this a precise gun, and the reason we're not using match ammo, right, is generally because we're not trying to showcase anything but practical, like what you would get with cheap ammo, right?
Yeah, so if I'm going out to take training, I'm not going to shoot match ammo all day at training. I can't afford that. This is 55 grain. This is what, you know, I think most of the community would use for training to go out to, you know, a 2-day rifle class or carbine class.
That's right, and this is what you can expect. You know, there's no way I'm going to sit here and try and get the best groups. I simply cannot afford to do that with this kind of gun. We're not trying. This is not a match gun. But I think this is okay information. We got some info here, and I think it's important for you guys to know. That muzzle brake, that god-awful muzzle brake, is one of the loudest I've ever used. It is the worst. Even at the shooter's ear, which is typically sort of a safe space against such tyranny, was riddled with eardrum abuse. I much prefer the AAC Ranger 7 as a muzzle device. The gun was not bad with the AGM thermal optic on top. It did okay with the loophole on top, and felt like every other AR-15 with the Holosun Ames on top. All right, we've got the Holosun AEMS Ames on the rifle now, and we're just gonna have some fun shooting steel at 2, 3, and we'll see if we can connect at 4. Go ahead, Josh.
All right, let's see what we can do for 2.
Hit. Off the left edge.
Yeah.
There's a hit. You find it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you found it.
I'm holding just over the head.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna try 3 again. And
Now that you found the hold. Hit. Is that your last round?
yeah, and I held like half over.
Okay.
Like a half target height.
All right.
Yep. Much easier.
Hit. 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 That thing's got a lot of ammo in it.
Yeah.
The best words I can think of to define this is that it's fine. But is fine really what you want? Is this really a pro model gun? The answer to those questions is no. You want fun and excitement. And if you are like me and you want those things, look elsewhere. This gun made me sort of question AR-15's as a whole. I know there are better guns out there, but I expected this to be a pro model and represent the AR platform well, and maybe fine is the best the mid-tier has to offer? I doubt it. I want to know from you guys down in the comments, have ARs peaked? Is the current state of things the best we're gonna get? With mediocre guns listed as pro models, where do we go from here? Don't worry, it's fine. Thanks for watching, subscribe.